I'm sitting at 287 birds in the state of Utah. My goal is to hit 300 birds. From this point onward, everything is a challenge. There's no easy birds to knock off my list anymore. It's rarity after rarity after rarity. Let's begin the road to 300 birds. Today we're going after 2 targets. Indigo bunting, a rare bird that would also be a lifer for me, and band-tailed pigeon, a bird that I've gone to go see multiple times and only shows up at 1 feeder in central Utah, and I haven't been able to get. So let's see what birds we can find.
The morning was nice and cool as the sun rose over the mountains. A mountain cottontail dashed away from us as we approached. 2 large mule deer bucks watched us silently down in a small ravine. These deer seek refuge at the nearby military base, knowing that they are safe from hunters in that area. This allows them to grow relatively large sizes. Soon the air was filled with the buzzing calls of buntings. Our target had to be close by.
All right, so I was a little bit off. I'm actually at 286 birds for the state of Utah, and we just rolled up to the spot where the indigo bunting was seen. So let's see if we can find it real quick. We're gonna stand here. The views out here are incredible. We just got it. We just picked up my lifer, indigo bunting. It didn't take long. Eventually, activity picked up and it started to sing. Absolutely incredible. Lazuli buntings are baby blue. Indigo buntings are a royal blue, and it covers their whole body. Lazulis have a brighter, whitest patch on their chest. Absolutely incredible. Lifer number 376, maybe, I think, and Utah bird 287. Let's go. 13 more to go. Enjoy these views of the indigo bunting.
Indigo buntings is one of the most iconic birds of North America. Its typical breeding range is in eastern North America, but that extends all the way into southern Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico, making it a rare visitor to northern Utah. During non-breeding season, indigo buntings make their way to the Antilles Islands and southern Mexico, as well as a small part of South America. Indigo buntings typically live in shrubby areas like the one we're in. The males can be distinguished from lazuli buntings by their more vibrant dark blue plumage, and the blue continues all the way down to their underparts. Lazuli buntings are more baby blue, and their breast is orange and white. These 2 species are known to hybridize where the ranges overlap, and that includes the state of Utah. In the warmer months, small spiders and insects make up the bulk of their diet, as well as seeds and herbs. In the winter, they mostly eat small seeds, berries, and plant buds, but they will eat insects if they're available. They are considered a species of least concern, but they are known to decrease in population on the local level. This is due to habitat loss from agriculture and the mowing of native plants. If you're a homeowner, one of the best ways to help bird species is to dedicate a small section of your yard, kudos honestly if you do the whole thing, to native plants. Our grass lawns do very little for the environment and take incredible amounts of water to maintain. Let me know in the comments below, do you have any special experiences with this beautiful indigo bunting bird? After finding this incredibly rare bird for our area, it was time to head back to the car. Little did I know that later that day I was going to find 3 more rare birds for the state and 2 that I needed towards my goal. A female Bullock's oriole perched high in the tree. Did you know that New World orioles are in the same family as blackbirds known as Icteridae? A flock of white-faced ibis flew high overhead. Hey friends, do you know where I might find your cousin the glossy ibis? A black-chinned hummingbird watched us from a bending branch. If you're in the west, definitely hang up your hummingbird feeders because the rufous hummingbirds are migrating through. You'll be able to see broad-tailed and black-chinned hummingbirds if you're in the north, and maybe even a calliope if you're lucky. If you're more south, Anna's hummingbirds will be around. And to my friends in the east, enjoy your ruby-throated hummingbirds as well. A western kingbird stood on a tree just off the path. I always double-check these birds for tropical and Couch's kingbirds, or maybe even a Cassens. A house finch gave itself a sand bath nearby. Birds will do this to free themselves of parasites. Alongside the winding trail, a Cooper's hawk sliced through the air. Another bluebird, this one much more common, a Woodhouse's scrub jay, appeared on top of a shrub. A female lazuli bunting, which always catches me off guard for some reason, darted away. Someone recently told me I needed to love on gulls a little bit more, so here's a ring-billed gull flying overhead. Utah actually has quite a few gull species that visit, so I'll make sure to highlight them more often in the future. A very difficult bird to get on camera, the blue-gray gnatcatcher slinked its way through a spindly bush. American robins are underrated due to how common they are, They're extremely charismatic and definitely deserve more love from the birding community. One of my favorite scenes of the day unfolded before my eyes. A lark sparrow perched among the thistles. These sparrows are striking, and I loved how its colors blended perfectly with the surrounding plants.
Just picked up another rare bird for the state of Utah today, and one that Allison was trying to chase. I'm here with Allison again. Blue grosbeak. In fact, we thought it was all the way down by the river. That's where it's been reported, but on our way back, we picked it up. Unfortunately, the shots are a little bit into the sun, but it doesn't matter. We got two of the blue visitors of the state of Utah, blue grosbeak and indigo bunting. Amazing day so far. Let's go get our second target. Blue grosbeak's not a new bird for the state of Utah, but it's still an amazing bird to pick up. Just a quick interruption, guys. I have some really exciting news. The Wilder photography competition is open for submissions as of yesterday, and this goes all the way till September 14th. This is a really fun competition that I actually tuned into last year. What makes it really unique is that the judges of this competition, they meet live on YouTube and they judge photos right there for everyone to watch. It's the only one that I know of in existence, and it's a lot of fun to get into. If you're just starting out in photography, or if you've done photography for a long time, there's categories for almost everything that you can think of. There's even a new photographer category that allows newer people to the hobby to express themselves and get their work out there for more people to see. There's $5,000 worth of prizes at stake for this competition, so definitely if you're looking for an opportunity to share your artwork or just put yourself out there, check out the link in my description below, and it'll take you over to the sign-up sheet where you can either find more information on the competition yourself or you can submit your photos. I myself will be participating and sending in a few photos of my own, so you definitely don't want to miss out. The live judging will take place on YouTube live on October 4th from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. PST. Also, my friend Jeremy Knipe, who also runs a YouTube channel and has a lot of videos on birds as well, has put this whole thing together and has put so much effort into this competition. So definitely go check it out. And if you're not even planning on submitting any photos, at least tune into the live competition just to see how fun it is to be part of a photography competition. All right, guys, let's get back to the video. Right now, I'm on round like 5 or 6 of looking for the band-tailed pigeons. They typically come to a feeder right here, and there is a bird on the feeder. It's not a band-tailed pigeon, unfortunately. But at this point, it is now a Utah nemesis bird, which I never thought I would say a pigeon would be a nemesis bird. We've been sitting here for about 15 minutes and have not seen any pigeons, unfortunately, but we're hoping that maybe they fly in soon. We actually have some activity at the feeder now, which is a good sign. Typically birds come in flocks and mixed flocks, so we'll see if we can find it. If not, we'll move on to our next location. All right, our waiting paid off. About 15 minutes in to just sitting here and watching the feeder, a single band-tailed pigeon showed up. Usually they hang out in flocks, but this one was solo. I'm sure its friends aren't too far away from it, but definitely worth the wait. Sometimes in birding, you just have to be extremely patient, and it's such a beautiful bird. It's only been featured once on the channel, all the way back at the very beginning when I birded in Disneyland. So if you're an old fan of the channel, you've probably seen that video way back when, but enjoy these views of the band-tailed pigeon. You may discount this bird as just another pigeon, but there are many reasons why this bird is actually awesome. For starters, band-tailed pigeons are native to North and South America. They aren't introduced like many of the other birds in the columbiforms family. They can be distinguished from the more common rock pigeon by the distinct white band and greenish feathers on the back of its neck. These pigeons will also visit feeders, and honestly, you never really know when or where they'll show up. For example, in north central Utah, there's only a few feeders where these birds return to year after year. Otherwise, they're actually really difficult to find. This is because this pigeon typically feeds on a food source, and then once that's gone, they all leave. If you're someone who keeps their feeders stocked throughout the year in the western US, maybe someday band-tailed pigeons could show up in your yard. The band-tailed pigeon's conservation status is least concern, but there is reason to be concerned. Hunting of the species is allowed in Oregon, California, and the other interior US states. It is listed as a species of concern in Canada, but it's not listed as threatened or endangered in the US. Some numbers have their total population decreased by more than 50%. There's very little outcry to save this extremely beautiful bird. So that makes Utah bird 288, 2 new state birds on our list. Now we have one last stop that we want to hit, and it's kind of a Hail Mary. There's been some birds that have been reported there, but not in the last couple days. I need Wimbrel for the state of Utah. That one would be kind of a shot in the dark. It hasn't been seen in 5 days. There's birders that chase that bird all the time, so it's very possible and likely we won't get that, but we're still gonna try. Let's see if we can pick up any more state birds and bring us one step closer to that 300.
We arrived at the south shore of Utah Lake hoping to find some more new state birds. A barn swallow rested on a bare tree. These are the most widely distributed swallows in the entire world. A Franklin's gull flew through the air above our heads. It was later joined by a turkey vulture, gliding silently through the air and looking for an easy meal. A white-faced ibis saw us approach and took off down the beach. One of the best things to find on the south shore of Utah Lake are sandpipers. This least sandpiper foraged in the mud, picking through for insects. Two Wilson's phalaropes, a bird that I think should become Utah's revised state bird, spun around in the water, stirring up food in the wake of their movements. A spotted sandpiper bobbed its tail up and down in the mud. This is the easiest shorebird to pick out in my opinion due to its bobbing behavior, but it can still be confused for solitary sandpipers if one is not too careful. A killdeer screeched from its post on the beach. Despite how common these birds seem, their status is listed as near threatened, and they are declining across North America. A bird flying low over the water caught our eye, a double-crested cormorant ripping through the air just above the lake. As we observed this Caspian tern flying over, we joked about maybe finding the rarer common tern on the beach. Little did we know there was one more surprise in store for us.
Okay, so about 10 seconds after we joked about finding a common tern, Alice and I both spotted around the same time a tern that had a bright reddish orange feet. Now, if you know anything about common terns, the way to differentiate them from Forster's terns is a very red and beak and a very red feet. And so we ended up snapping some pictures and we were a little bit skeptical about it. We sent it in for review and it turns out that yes, indeed, we found ourselves a common tern. This is a rare bird for the state of Utah. About a dozen or so of them show up annually, so it's still a rare bird. Not extremely rare by any means, but it's a new bird for the state. Our counter is getting so much closer to that 300 number that we've been searching for so long. I think we only have about 10 more birds to go. So we're closing in on that number, and honestly, by the beginning of next year, I'm sure we'll surpass it. Make sure you check out the Wilder photo competition. Again, link is in the description below. It's going to be a lot of fun, and even if you don't take photos or you're not interested in submitting your own work, just go watch it. Let me know in the comments below, out of these 3 rare birds that we found, which one was your favorite. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding.